Alright, we go back to another league race. This time we're back with TTML for round
No moisture
number
coming to me.
6. That's the one. Round number 6 of F3 at Russia. Now, this track used to be fun, and then they added the curves in last year's game, and then it's not A, not as fun to drive, and B, not as rewarding because the penalties that were so hard to avoid are now nearly impossible to get because you're deterred from running over the curbs. So, yeah, anywho. Qualifying, yeah, was a bit of a mess. I'm just going to leave it out. 12th place. Could have been better, but yeah, it's... Yeah, it could have been better for sure. I wish it was, but yeah. My PB, I think, was a... what even was it? I think a 30.6 or something. I can't even remember. Because it was so... I can't even remember, man. It was so long ago, I can't remember. I'm still playing catch up on some of these races I've been for the last week, just trying to clear my Christmas lot before actually starting. Why I let all this in, I don't know. So you're going to have to stick with me for, well, endless shite, really. But, so yes, Sway got himself on pole position, which is good for him. But Russia, maybe not the best place to be. Anywho, I'm going to start on the softs because, again, mediums, a safety car will just screw you. And, yeah, because considering that you can do mediums for most of this race, I'm going to stick with that, play it safe. After realizing that I want to start on the softs, not the mediums. Yep, there you go. Oh, there it is. Flipping realization, flipping kicks in. / Sway telling me. So, anywho's, here we go then. 5 red lights. And away we go. Initially get the good start, and then the second phase kind of sucks a bit as wheel spin kicks in. A lot of wheel spin kicks in. Yarm is not even got to turn 1, not even turn 2, turn 1 before he's out of the race. VSC is deployed. So, second phase of that start bit, I was hoping to get Wesker heading down towards turn 2, but yeah, no chance of that with the wheel spin I got there. So, anywho's VSC will be deployed. We'll kind of ease our way through things here. But we're up a place, 2 places at least, so hey, can't complain too much with that. Lap number 3 is behind. Yogi has an off. So we're just behind Wesker on medium still, and then Stevie G is there as well. So just settling in. Honestly, I was really happy with how the car felt in the race and in qualifying. Just really pleased. End of lap 3. The VSC is deployed, and this ends up being deployed into a full safety car. And this is great. This is exactly what you didn't want on mediums, but perfect for me on softs because I'll just go on mediums to the end of the race and we'll go from there. So that's exactly why I start on softs. You cover yourself in the event that some nonsense like this happens, and yeah, you cover bases. You're not on the worst tire to end the race, as you'll see here. So those on mediums decide to stay out. I guess, yeah, may as well, I suppose. The likes of Kevin and Merck both put on hards. Everyone else essentially went mediums from this point. Well, some people did decide to put on some softs, I think. But yeah, hards are pretty diabolical race tire here. The hardest compound always has been. You know, that whether that was softs in F1 2018, you know, or whatever. Like, it's just not the hardest compound tire. Just not is not the right one here, really. Anywho. Or not the ideal one, it's certainly. Lap 1 hards, if you have an accident, can go to the end and you can salvage something, maybe if another safety car comes out. Anyway, we actually jumped Stevie G somehow, despite having to stack behind Sway with a 5-second penalty for overtaking under a yellow flag, or off the track, whatever it was. Anywho, end of lap 5 actually, very quick turnaround for this safety car. Considering we just pitted. So, caught napping somewhat there, but that's okay, I suppose. And we'll get underway once again. So, lap 6, 27, it's going to be a long stint this one, because we're planning to go to the end of the race. We'll see how we get on, but yeah, caught a little bit napping there against Sloth. And Sloth is going to be put the pressure on Merck, who I need to put the pressure on myself, given that he is on hard compound tires. Have to make this stick. DRS is enabled. This is the track where it's enabled literally immediately because boom, there it is. Detection line's back beforehand. So I'm happy to use ERS to get this move done. I need to get this move done, and we do get that move done. And then Stevie G is going to come through immediately as well. Kind of burst his way through there, to be fair. I move over to the middle of the track somewhat just to deter the dive on the inside, because yeah, dives on the inside of turn 4 are usually come off bad for both cars involved. Though I can't defend this time. No DRS, so Steve will pop through, and I wasn't sure if he's going to pull away from me at this point, but he actually ended up not. So was able to hang within his DRS for most of this race, to be fair. I believe is how this unfolded. So Carnage up here, I think Legende and was it Hipula Boy and Sway, I'm not sure, but some shenanigans kicks off in front here. And yeah, some people come into the pits, some people come off. The Sloth is off as well, so it's absolutely all kicking off. You have Appledorn then as well, so lots of positions made this lap, certainly at the very least. And we're going to try and follow through if we can. He's got DRS though, as that Mercedes, so it'll make things a little bit more difficult to get through. Have to be careful on a car, you know, on fresher tyres versus on more worn tyres. But he just pulls over to the right hand side, and we get through there. So he didn't choose to fight that, which you can always appreciate. So we're still behind Steve, and then Jane then as well in front. Anywho, lap 16, yeah, 16. CVG's got by Jane, who I'm not sure has damage at this point. I'm not sure. But I was able to keep within the DRS of these guys and drop Sloth and Merc behind. So, Jane been measuring this up for a while. He finally dropped out of DRS of Stevie G and finally able to get through. So that is P5, and Wesker and company to pit in front. Carlsbury as well to pit. A podium could be in the offing here, for very much so. So, happily sticking with this. Wesker is not pitted on his mediums. Now, ideally, he should be coming in the next 2 laps to get the most out of the softs, because no safety car is coming out at this stage. So, you know, 2-3 laps max, I'd expect Wesker to be making the pit stop. So, that's where we're currently at. Lap number 17. So I thought, okay, look, because you can take softs 10 laps easily here, and they'd be quicker than the current dead mediums he's on. I thought, okay, is he going to pit this lap? No, not this lap. Okay. Was beginning to get a little bit perplexed as to why he wasn't pitting, because he's just losing out time on softs, you know, because the softs, as Carlsbury does pit this lap, he's making the most of his softs. This is what Wesker should have done. Anyways, lap 18. This is an no-com version as well, but if Kevin and Merc crash and then the safety car. I was suspicious at this point that there are some antics at play, that something would happen that would allow a safety car to come out and Wesker to gain an advantage from it. This is lap 18, mind you. Still hasn't boxed, you know, lap 18. At this point, this is getting into territory of, like, this is ridiculous. Like, he's being an idiot at this point, because to get the most out of softs, he should have pitted when Carlsbury pitted. So I'm measuring Stevie G all the way here, because I know he's got like less than 10% of ERS at the end of this straight. So I've been measuring this all the way, just waiting for when he, you know, just biding my time, essentially, is what I'm doing. Lap 20, still behind. Carlsbury is coming through though. Carlsbury, of course, pitted. I can't hold this up, so you know he's just so much later on the brakes, super on the outside, so he gets through. Thankfully, still within DRS. So that was I still want to lose DRS on Stevie G here more so, and he doesn't have DRS to Stevie G, so we're gonna gain some of that back. Lap 22, Wesker still hasn't pitted. Now Stevie G is within his DRS. At this stage, it's ludicrous. Like, there's no one in their right mind would stay out this late if they knew a safety car was going to come. And oh, look at that! There's McLaren on the bottom left who is going very slowly and is nowhere in this race, being Kevin on a pad, and a safety car. You know, the crash, the DNF, the safety car. That was so incredible. Just, you cannot tell me. Now, Kevin was actually done for this in the stewards. Look, I wasn't the only one who thought this was strange. So many people immediately picked up on what happened here. It was very clearly on purpose. And he was given a race ban for the next race for this. But you cannot tell me that Wesker wasn't complicit in this, because he wouldn't have stayed out that long. I refuse to believe he stayed out that long waiting for a safety car. Like, I fully believe that he stayed out knowing that Kevin was going to crash at some point. And you cannot tell me otherwise. It's very, very obvious, because no one would stay out this late to bank for a safety car. Usually that window was gone by this stage. You get to lap 20 at max and you think, okay, the safety car isn't happening. I now should box to save, to get the most out of my softs, or at least what I can. And there's a big, I don't know. It was very, very clear, because like we're all coming in for softs now. Like everyone's coming in for softs at this point in the race. Which of course, obviously Wesker's going to box for his softs because he hasn't made his mandatory stop on those mediums. So I don't know. I wish the stewards looked more into it, but they'd never be able to prove it. But I've no doubt Wesker was complicit in what happened here. No, absolutely no doubt about it. Whatever fancy words we want to dress on it, or to make it seem as if, just waiting for a safety car, bollocks. I'm right. That is, no one waits this late for something that was never going to happen unless the person he happens to be in the party with crashes conveniently out of nowhere. I refuse to believe that was a lucky break. There was more than luck to that. Everyone caught on to it. Like, it was very, very, very clear. And I called it so many laps ago as well. That's the thing. Like, I knew, like, I predicted it like 4 laps before it actually happened. So, sorry if you take offense, but let's not beat around the bush here. And for Kevin to do that as well was to crash out on purpose was pretty poor form as well, to bring out a safety car. Anywho's, yeah, it's pretty poor. Like even at the best, it's pretty poor. Merck is also, the thing I was worried about more so was that Merck is also gaining advantage from this, and he was able to box immediately. He was just at the pit lane, and he was able to immediately box. And now I was thinking, well, shit. Now Merck's just going to get past, and he's benefited from his friend being under the safety for bringing out a safety car as well. So that was my thought. Podium is now gone at this stage. Anyway, what you basically get is a 2-lap sprint. Thankfully, I wasn't so slow that I lost any positions on this restart. But because everyone has the same ERS, the same tires, you'd have to be like a second or 7/10 lap quicker to really gain. Because 2-lap sprint, you just manage your ERS between the 2 laps and you're fine. So this is how it's going to finish. It's going to finish in this order, essentially. Well, I'm not sure if Calsbury and Juan Rojo came to blows, but anywho, it's going to be P5. I'm a little disappointed because once Wesker pit, I was going to attack Stevie G then. I knew he had very little ERS. I was just measuring it up the whole way. I knew I was quicker, or I felt I was quicker, and I was just waiting to send that one, and that would have been a podium, P4 if nothing else. So pretty disappointed for that to unfold the way it did. I have no doubts as to what actually happened. Can't convince me otherwise. If you've raced long enough in league racing, you understand clearly what's gone on. So anywho, here's the standings after round number 6. Good result though for P5 even still, so we do gain some ground there, move up to 7th. Now a little bit more satisfied with the standing I'm in, because that's more like it. That's kind of what more I expect from that point of view. So anywho, it's kind of, again, a shame. I could easily be closer to 3rd if things worked out a little better in some races. Standings there, Williams move ahead of Haas after what was a pretty dominant Zandvoort for Haas. So yeah, happy to, I guess, get that advantage back. So yeah, that was good. But yeah, a race that could have been more for me, for my teammate, But P5 I'll take because I've not had a lot of luck in TTML this season, so I'll happily take what I can get. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and until next time.